Are raiders targeting your TC from the top down? Are you wondering what the meta setup is for placing your TC in Rust? Well, you're in the right place. I'm going to show you the top TC placement principles and strategies to provide maximum protection to your tool cupboard, regardless of the base you're building. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about whether or not you should be placing your TC on a square or triangle foundation, or even another floor. But first, let's go over one of the golden rules. The floor directly above your TC is one of the most vulnerable spots in your base. This should be the first building part that you upgrade to sheet metal and then to armored as quickly as possible. Then you can upgrade the walls, and honestly, sheet metal should be fine for the foundation in most setups. Now, to improve our TC's top-down protection even more, let's talk about what we build on the floor above. You can see that my TC is below this armored floor right here, so we should get this covered as the first thing that we do on the second floor of our base. The ultimate meta is to turn this floor into a storage area using a half wall to create a shelf, regardless of whether you're building on a square or a triangle. Once your shelf is complete, place your chests or whatever you want in there, and then place a window, and when you log off or you aren't using the storage, cover it with an armored glass window. If raiders come down from the top, they'll have to raid through your shelf before raiding through the armored floor to get to your TC. Having a shelved area above your TC upgraded to the highest tier you can afford will go a long way in protecting your base from the top. Don't forget to continue this strategy as you build up your base for even more protection. In regards to which level of your base you should put your TC on, generally most players choose the ground level because it's easy to get started, can be protected well from the sides and above, and eliminates the chances of getting raided from below. Placing your TC on the second floor or higher can certainly confuse raiders, but just make sure that your base floor is well honeycombed to avoid raiders coming from below. You can even torch your original TC with a Molotov and then add a new one in a different location if you like. Now, one of the most common questions players have is, should I be placing my TC on a triangle or square foundation? It really depends on what your final build will be, as both options are viable. Let's take a look at some different setups for each option. First of all, if you're going to place your TC on a square foundation, it's pretty common practice to, before placing the TC, rotate the back wall to the opposite direction temporarily using a hammer. This will let you place the TC further back on the foundation. Make sure to rotate your wall back once you're done. If you forget though, don't worry, you can rotate it again when you upgrade it to either sheet metal or to armor. Then, regardless of your setup, you should be putting a lock on your TC, especially when you're first getting your base set up. That way, if anyone gets inside your base, they're still going to have to work to get to the good loot. It's also standard to build a triangle shelf in the same room as the TC when it's on a square foundation to maximize storage space. You can fit quite a lot of chests in here, and even more if you have the DLC for barrels. One of my favorite starter bases utilizes a TC on a square foundation. It's just a 2x2 with 2 double sheet metal doors, allowing for easy expansion into either an immediate jump up or a simple bunker bed. Using this square foundation allows for a lot more storage in the 2x2 than when using a triangle foundation. Okay, now let's talk about placing your TC on a triangle foundation, my current favorite setup. This setup allows for your TC room to keep as small of a footprint as possible, difficult for raiders to find, and is also really quick to set up on wipe day. One setup you can do with a triangle build is to put a doorway and then a perfectly placed vending machine. You'll still be able to access the TC from a single pixel on the side, and it greatly increases the raid cost, but can be bypassed by experienced raiders and honestly is kind of cheesy to me. But it is an option, and it seems to be the preferred option for big groups at the moment, and I'll link to a video in the description that shows you how to place it if you want to take a look at that. However, my favorite setup is to, before placing your TC, place a half wall and then a triangle frame on top of that. Then you can destroy the half wall and put your TC right in the middle of the triangle frame. This makes it so that once you have a window up here later on, if a raider destroys your TC after blowing your window, they still won't be able to loot it. They'll have to go through the whole wall first. It basically increases the raid cost for those looking to actually loot the TC. It's also important to note that, like I show in one of my other videos, industrial conveyors can transfer materials through closed windows. So even though this TC is completely closed off, we can still have it automatically refilled. That is seriously OP if you ask me. Oh, and by the way, guys, obviously the Rust standard of using honeycomb around your TC room, building bunker bases, and having as many doors between your TC and the outside as possible still applies here. This video is just focused more specifically on the actual TC room, but yeah, you should definitely be honeycombing around your TC as much as you can. On that note, once you start honeycombing around a triangle foundation setup, it can be hard to upgrade the foundation under the TC and even the walls around it. So it may be a good idea to upgrade those first as much as you can before going deep into your honeycombing. Since we're talking about TC placement, one advanced option is to place additional external TCs around your base. The trick is to move just a few steps outside the range of your current TC's build zone, then add another TC, maybe just a simple triangle setup with a door, or more commonly, with enough stone to last the wipe, followed by fully walling it in. This TC shouldn't take much upkeep, and you shouldn't be too worried if it gets raided because its main purpose is to overlap into your other TC so that if raiders destroy your main TC, because it's locked, right, they still won't have build access inside your base. It just adds another layer of security and protection to your base. If you follow these principles, you will definitely make it more difficult for raiders to access your TC. Of course, any base is raidable, but my goal has always been to make sure that when I do get raided, the raiders get less loot than they used to get in. So now that your TC is protected, you've got plenty of time to build a compact, self-watering farm inside your starter base. Check out this video to see just how easy it is. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope your TC stays safe and protected for your next wipe. I'm Stack Runner, and I'll see you in the next one.